Welcome back, welcome back. I'm MTG Joe. We are in the post-Oko world. Green got neutered in case you haven't gotten the word. Oko banned. Once Upon a Time banned, Veil of Summer banned. Meaning we can play other colors. I can bust off those mountains, I can dust off those plains, and we can play another deck without being elked. Artifacts are a thing. Creatures over 3 CMC are a thing. So exciting times. This will be my first foray into this new event, or this new standard. It's almost like we had a rotation. So going to be trying out first a deck I was playing a couple games with on the weekend. This is a Mardu's Knights list, but basically it's about flooding the board and dropping an Embercleave onto a Rotting Regisaur and just smashing face. So the deck here, one of the benefits of playing Knights first off is the availability of the Tri-Land Tournament Grounds. Basically cast for all our colors in Mardu, red, white, and black, and then equipments as well. So our deck is basically creatures and equipments. So in the 1-drop slot, we have 4 1-drop Knights. Venerable Knight is a 1 mana 2/1, so good aggressive stats. When it dies, we get to put a 1/1 counter on another Knight. Knight of Ebon Legion, we've played pretty much in every black deck that's attacking with creatures. It is a 1 mana 1/2 that's a mana sink to get bigger. Fervent Champion allows us to attack in first turn. It also gives our other knights +1/0. The first strike's usually relevant in some creature combat matchups, and it also reduces the equipped ability. So Steelclaw Lance can equip for free. Playing a single of the enchantment, it basically is a 1 mana 2/2 boost for any of our knights. In the 2-drop slot, we have Worthy Knight. Whenever you cast a knight spell, you create a 1/1 human. This allows us to go wide and easily trigger Embercleave for 2 mana. Blacklance Paragon is effectively removal in the deck, making any of our knights a death toucher. The life gain is also relevant at times. Rimrock Knight's a 1-of, kind of a combat trick. It's also a 3/1 for 1 mana. It works well with Embercleave because you want a lot of power off the first strike. Inspiring Veteran is our anthem. Give all our knights 1/1. And then we have Acclaimed Contender, which is our card advantage. If we have another knight on the battlefield, you look at the top 5 cards, put another, basically any non-land card in our deck, how it's set up. And then Roddy Too Hottie, the Regisaur. As you notice from our curve, we pretty much stop out at 3 mana. So you dump your hand, the upkeep trigger is not really that relevant. So we end up with a 3 mana 7/6. Then if you can drop an Embercleave following it, it's a pretty big boy. That's 16 power with trample that it's coming in. Mana base wise, you got some basics, you got some duels, and that's pretty much it. So I've been playing mainly best of 1. We'll probably play just best of 1 today. I want to get a feel for what the decks are like before we commit to best of 3, especially with sideboard. But sideboard wise that we got some Duress, we got some Devout Decrees, Legion's End versus aggro, Noxious Grasp because green's still a thing, some Cruelties, and then a Sorin, just in the more grindy matchups to bring back our threats. So that's the deck. We are currently Diamond 4 because we got punked and fell a bunch of spots. So let's play some ranked best of 1. So we'll be back with Budget Build Series. I'm going to give it a couple days. Let's see what the meta settles on, and then we'll pick a deck. It'll likely be an adventure deck. In the comments below on the YouTube video, do kind of have any recommendations you might want to see. For those of you who are unfamiliar with Budget Build Series, we take 3 decks, starting with the most budget version. It's usually under 10 rares. And then we do a mid-budget, and then we do a non-budget. The mid-budget is basically just adding some rares, non-budget's fully tuned, and then I do a big write-up on how to best take advantage of it. So this hand is pretty sweet. So we go Knight on 1, free equipped on 2, into double Regisaur. So if they don't have a board wipe, they're in a bit of trouble. And then as always, you can catch all my content on my replays on YouTube. If you aren't subscribed, consider doing so. It's free to subscribe, same as a follow on Twitch. Both are free ways to help out the channel. And if you are purchasing cards for Pioneer or any other format, I do have a TCG affiliate link in my video description. Again, costs you nothing to help out the channel. If you're doing your purchase anyways, it would be greatly appreciated. So we are just smacking face here. This could be Jeskai that they're missing colors. So I'm going to keep the land in hand. This is interesting because they could bounce Regisaur. Okay. So it is fires. So here, just going to play it out like this. No sense of showing these right now. This also gets around fires of Clarion. They are in trouble here. So what I'm going to do this turn is I'm going to discard the land to the Rotting Regisaur. Depending on our draw, I'll probably play out the Regisaur, and then on upkeep hold up Paragon to drop that into play. That gets around a board wipe as well, because they'll have 5 mana this turn for what's it called? Time wipe. Probably going to see a lot of these Fires decks. Fires is probably my favorite deck, so if you do want to see the budget build series on that, I can definitely do that. I am playing Fires in Pioneer, so the more games I play, the happier I get. Okay, Venerated Knight. So here, I think we just go, because they probably have the, well actually they can't play Time Wipe, they're missing 2 white sources. Put a stop in our upkeep. I'm overthinking this. Their mana base is, so they need fires into Time Wipe here, so they can do it. So just going to play this out. So probably overcommitted a little bit too much to the board there. We had lethal already. So probably punted that. They needed that exact kind of draw. So they do need to minus with Teferi here, but they're going to have 12 power on board, so even with this, we're going to be behind. Punted that. We were good standing. They've done this all without white mana. Fires is an awesome card. So we're doing this so we can find potentially an Embercleave. Just get Fervent in case they have a board wipe. So they do need to potentially be mindful. If they have Clarion, though, we're dead. They could double animate, play Clarion, wipe our board.
No, I am not making this up as I go.
They're just going to go Fae here. Plane-wide celebration, gain a bunch of life. It's odd they did the proliferate. Just make another dragon. So we're just playing out because Embercleave's an out. That seems very aggressive. Why not proliferate one more there then? And then keep your Sarkin. So the problem here, kind of run out of resources. And they can just start playing this and bouncing. It's a very strange play. They go Narset. The life gain's a little bit more relevant. Okay, third Sarkhan's enough. They're just going to make 3 dragons, so we can't attack through Embercleave. That was an error on my part. We got a little too overzealous. Let's run it back. If we did dodge that fire's time wipe turn, though, we will keep this hand. It's a very nice curve because we could get Embercleave down. This also lets us play 2 knights. Probably okay with that. Keeps us from being able to attack. So I'm going to do this. And then just pass turn. We can follow it up with an Embercleave. Drawing this second Embercleave isn't the best. They don't really stack well. This is Gruul Adventures. Doesn't really matter here. Let's just go get a black source. So depending on how they block here, let's just go like this. And this is basically what the deck wants to do. Just spew a ton of damage. So the cool thing here is, so they play Lovestruck, but depending on how they block, we can flash in this other Embercleave, and just with Legend Rule, give it a different target. Yeah, they're dead from the residual trample damage anyways. So it's exactly what the deck wants to do. Spew a bunch of creatures, Embercleave, kill them. Let's crack the pack. Garbage. If you have any cool decks too that you've been playing thus far, it's pretty much Wild West right now. One card I want to revisit again that I haven't played in a while is my boy Risen Reef. Here I'm gonna go Fervent first because I want to have a Knight down in case they have Shock. This is another hand where we just spew a bunch of 1-drops. Okay, so this can be a couple different decks. So it's Cat Oven. It can be the Festering Troll King. It could be Jund's Sacrifice. It can be black-green sacrifice. So they got the cat on one. So we can attack with everything and then Embercleave. So see how they do blockers. And then Embercleave in. Because now if they sack, they just take all the trample damage. And they're going to have a hard time now. Because we have the trample, this is going to keep getting bigger and we could just pump into it. And then this is going to become 4, so it's 8 that it'll have on it. We can keep putting the stacks on that. If we draw another land, I could play Knight, but I could just pump into this Knight of Ebon Legion. Turn 3 kill. If you want to rank up quick, this deck's actually pretty sweet. A little bit pricey on the rare side, but if you've been drafting a lot, just going to give Arena a quick reset, getting a bit of an audio buzz. I am excited. If anybody has a good Great Henge list as well, I want to probably do something, the Mirror March, Quasi Duplicate, and then play the Elemental package to draw your whole deck. Use Fae of Wishes to get Jace. I'm going to brew something up like that. But today is all about turning little creatures sideways and Embercleaving. Tomorrow I'll be playing Pioneer Control, so today let's play quick aggro. I'm also going to do on the channel a couple budget Pioneer decks, just deck techs, kind of highlights, and people have been asking for that. So we're going to keep this hand. Nice curve here. We go Knight into, sorry, I have to be more specific, Venerable Knight into Worthy Knight into Venerable Inspiring. We can't arbitrarily call everything Knight. I'm going to try a Knight variation as well for Historic. It's coming to Arena in the next couple weeks, I think, like the actual ranked queue. Just do Mardu, but with History of Benalia. Okay, so this could be blue-white control. Let's force this. If they have a counter, they're less... Okay, they don't. Esper. So they won't have whatchamacallit on Othakaya this turn. Mana's a little awkward because we can't play the Venerated Knight. We also don't have double red just yet for Embercleave. We can fetch the Embercleave and then cast it next turn. Interesting. They get Worthy Knight. So they're at 12. I can play out a Venerated Knight and I could still do what I want to do. I think we just get Embercleave active. So you kill Teferi. Because they'll likely have a board wipe next turn.
We will meet again.
Why didn't... Oh, Teferi. Shit. We can't flash it in. I'm threatening lethal. And then this is just more power if I need it. Let's pass the turn. Elite Guard Mage. This might be Esper Hero. Okay, cool. You and you. Oh no, I didn't tap right for freaking Embercleave. Ah! I screwed that up. We had lethal. Ah! I meant to do this and then hold up the double red. Because we would have been able to trample over them. Same idea. No point in committing more to the board. We had him dead. Had them dead. The nice thing is, even after an Oathakaya here, we still play Worthy Knight into Acclaimed Contender. Bellhaunt. No mistakes this time. No mistakes this time. Alright, 3-1, and probably should have won that first game against Fires. Arena's confused. They gave me all the green quests. This is a green free zone today. Anyone else been playing Pokemon? I've been hooked on it. We'll keep. Venerated into Worthy into Inspiring. Mana's a little weird at times in this deck. I don't think we want a swamp. We probably just want more plains. So this is probably Temur Reclamation. Ah, this hand's very awkward. So I want to incentivize them if they do have a shock to kill this. The one thing we need to be mindful of, this deck usually will play the Flame Sweep. Okay, so they have the Reclamation. So because they're technically... Oh, I didn't want that on top. No, I don't think you can beat a 7/6. They have the Quench. So we didn't want to play... I still took them out. We're quick enough against this deck that they have a hard time. They have the Flame Sweep, so we didn't want to overcommit too much, because if we play the Anthem, then we get blown out. The plan was to kind of force the attack. Man, you could really rank up quick with this deck. I'll have to check out all the fandom lists. I also like how all these hands are just straight keeps. Screw it, keep. Steel Lance on 2 seems good. Playing this so the opponent might think we're on mono red. This gives us the most damage. Mystic Sanctuary. This might be... Todd Anderson had a mono blue flash list, which may be this deck, playing the Mystic Sanctuary, but that deck is going to struggle against having an early body. They do play on Summon. This hand really would benefit from having another black source. This could just be Dimir control. It's mill. So, trying to avoid the Cryocarnarium, but yeah. Gotcha! Turn 2 they play a Drown Secret. Turn 3 we dump a whole bunch of stuff. All that glitters. I really wish we just didn't punt that Fires game by going too overcommitting. Got a pile of random cards. I have a Spanish Smuggler's Copter here. A little awkward because we can't cast this, but we can cast these two, so probably keep. I think we just want critical mass of spells here. Is this the same opponent? This might be Canister we've played before. I think it's Frank Canister, Chevauche, one of the other streamers. Oh, okay, so it's Self-Mill Phoenix. So it's like the Self-Dredge. Which is cute, but we're gonna have Embercleave. They got Phoenix. Can you beat a Regisaur? They could have, like, they've shown Brazen Borrower. They may have Unsummon. And this deck is better when it has the Drowned Secrets on too. Like, they did dig quite a bit deep. So 2 Phoenix in the yard. Gonna discard the second Regisaur. See if they have the Unsummon here. I should have shocked this in so I could have got Embercleave in. So still just hit him for 10 this way. So now we have lethal a couple ways over. And then same play. They can unsummon something here. So they're going to go mission briefing into mission briefing. I guess they're just trying to dig for... Okay, so they have the Unsummon. That gets them the Phoenixes back, but... It's actually a really good draw, because we can put more power on this. Because they soak up 4, but they just take a bunch. Boom shakalaka! Holy, this deck is nuts. Straight aggro. I think it's really good suited for best of one. Like, the opponent just kind of dirtled. They did have a timely Unsummon, otherwise they would have been dead a lot quicker. I'm going to keep this hand. I'm actually going to lead off with the Temple of Silence. And ideally we want another red source here for Embercleave. I prefer this because then if we draw another land, we can also go Worthy Knight, Knight. From a dialogue perspective, everything being Knight is also super confusing. Beyond, like, so if we draw the land going Knight into Knight, a Worthy Knight into Knight of Ebon Legion. Okay, so this is stacks. So getting the tokens out is quite relevant against the stacks deck because you don't have to sack these. Beyond that, I'll probably, if we don't draw land, just drop this at instant speed. Haven't seen the blue yet, so this might just be the black-white version that plays a little bit bigger in terms of creatures, so they'll play Cavalier Dawn. Okay, so we got that. I'm not going to commit any more to the board here. This is prime Othakaya mana. Okay, so they go Doom Foretold. So I'm just going to do this for the tokens. Doesn't matter. I'll sacrifice the Blacklance. Embercleave on this. And then I don't think it makes sense to commit any more to the board. We're threatening lethal. If they don't have Kaya's Wrath here, they're dead. Cryo Carnarium doesn't do it. Hey Quantum, how's it going? How you enjoying this new standard? So we've been playing for about 40 minutes now, and I think I'm 6-1, and the one loss was because I punted and overcommitted against the Fires deck with Time Wipe. This Knights deck is dope. Consistently can get turn 3 Embercleave out. All these decks just dirtle and you're just smashing. We started at Diamond 4 at the second pip. What other decks have you played against today? I've only been playing... I didn't play at all yesterday. Monday is usually the day my wife and I are both home early, so... family time. And Pokemon. Lots of Pokemon. Too much Pokemon. Let's keep. I don't like Fabled Passage typically in these decks. I want all my lands to come into play untapped. I want to play some Risen Reef too. So we're going to get a white source here. Usually I'd prefer to drop Worthy Knight on 2. Elementals was the shit. They might have a bounce spell here. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Honestly, even if they quench this, if that's their whole turn. Nice. It's pretty low value. If this is just Simic Flash. So really just want to force them into spending their mana not on creatures. This deck's so good. Ah. Why have I waited so long to play this? It's just getting the audio fuzz. The gameplay is much better. The platform is still a little. I am extremely happy with the bans. I hate Veil of Summer so much as a player who wants to play control all the time, despite playing extreme aggro right now. It is not my preferred deck to play against. Once Upon a Time makes sense, made too much in terms of consistency, and Oko, obviously you do my stance. We were playing 2 weeks of non-Oko decks. What didn't really age well was the video I did on Sunday, which was an Oko flash deck that had 12 cards banned in it come the next day. Sign the sweets. Tournament's Grounds is a really nice card in this deck. There was a reason to maybe play the Blood Crypt there, just to feint that we were a different deck, because this kind of puts us in a specific archetype. So we can go Blacklance here. So this kind of telegraphs that we are Blacklance. Perhaps, but with Knight at least it's a little bit of a bluff. I am happy to see islands against this deck. Okay, so what do you got? This can force out a counterspell perhaps, and then we just Embercleave them. This deck's awesome. The opponent just doesn't do anything, and we smash face. I'm never gonna get these quests. I play like 3 spells, and the opponent concedes. Oh, it's nice when Magic's fun again. I thankfully only ran into one cat deck, and we Embercleaved them on 3. So their cat couldn't do anything. And it was a moment where they sacked the cat after blocking, and then you can obviously tell there was a delay where they read Embercleave and then instantly shame scooped. This is a keep. Gonna lead on the Foundry. Yeah, artifact hate when you don't have a card that just deals with everything. Brontodon should be good. Ooh, that's a nice follow-up play. Our next turn is shaping up to be really sweet if they don't have a... So... Play you out. Play you out. Next turn we Embercleave. We can't even get past turn 3. We beat the opponent. I gotta find a good henge deck. I was playing a bit with it towards the end, and when you get a henge going, it's like impossible to lose the game at times. Like that, you start spamming Growth Chamber Guardians, find another one, it adapts itself. This is actually a ridiculous deck that we've been playing. I gotta check out, see afterwards today if there's any of the fandom stuff that seems interesting. Probably give it another game or 2. Then I'll go grab some dinner and then see from there. I think this is a reasonable keep. Probably one too many lands, so if they are a little bit... So we are running the mirror here. Interesting. Okay, we can stop with the lands. I assure you, we can stop with the lands. An Acclaimed Contender would actually be very good for us here. I have Rimrock Knight. This will give him a 1/1. I need to be mindful. Okay, so Worthy Knight. I'm not going to attack here. I want to have the Embercleave up for next turn. This will trigger Embercleave if they go all-out attack. At this point, our Embercleave strike will be bigger. Turn things sideways. We've drawn a lot of lands this game. So I'm going to put the Embercleave on the Venerated Knight. Actually, now we're kind of priced into on Veteran. If they have a shock, they have a shock, but it'd be kind of unlikely. So this does put a counter on. So we're not out of the woods just yet. They can obviously Embercleave us back. They have this Rimrock, so the max damage they can do without Embercleave right now is the 2 from this. Oh, they just have Chance of Glory. So it's 4, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I think we're dead. Yeah. You know what? We lost to Knights, so Knights deck still won. A little bit of a weird draw there. So that looks like it was straight red-white. Chance is a good card. It also, like, I still think it was right for us, because if they didn't have Chance or Embercleave, we likely win that next turn. But with them just... We also drew 3 creatures, 2 of which were in our opener hand. And then like 3 or 4 more lands, so... In the dark, you keep. Still only 2 losses with the deck. Yeah, there's quite a bit of variety right now, which is nice. We will keep this and drop Fervent on 1. Fervent 1, Steel Lance 2. Robin Goblin. Won't let him know that. So Steelclaw Lance 2, turn 3 we go Worthy Knight and Knight of Ebon Legion to get the 2 triggers. This being a red-based deck, they can easily shock us. Unless this is fires. If we are on the play, this hand would be worlds better, but the fact they can get Clarion down Or even Teferi is a good tempo play. That deck's pretty sweet, but I wish it was like every time you draw a card. So this is likely Jeskai Fires. So even on its own here, Teferi's not the end of the world, because we can just attack it down. Okay, so they have Prison Realm. So it opens this up a bit more to... Why would you tap like that? Ah! Wasn't paying attention to auto tapper there. Wanted to play the Knights, because I would have turned on Embercleave. My guess is they Prison Realm here. Like, it's not as bad if they Clarion right now. Okay, so that suggests to me they don't have a sweeper. So this is... No, this one probably isn't the Cavaliers one. The Cavaliers one usually doesn't play Narset. It usually only plays Teferi. The nice thing though is it comes in unimpeded. So this could be a Kaya's Wrath perhaps. Enter the God's Eternal. So if we draw a land, we could Embercleave. So we can just fake. See if they want to block. We could just pump into it. They milled themselves? I wasn't even paying attention to that. What'd they mill? Well, I got rid of a time wipe. Drawn from Dreams. I'm assuming they found themselves a board wipe or another Fae. Sarkin. A land would be great here. Attacks you or a planeswalker you control. Oh, I screwed that up. I screwed that up. I forgot about this. I thought it was only Planeswalker, and I could have just put the mana on here. That feels awful. That was a mistake. Yeah, now they're just gonna gain infinite life. Give it haste, trample. Shame, concede. Ah. That one was my stupidity. Nice. Fires may prove to be one of the harder decks just because they have Clarion and board wipes. We haven't really encountered any other board wipe deck. We're more of a swarm deck. That's unfortunate. Sure. I mean, like... We do get a 3/3. If they're going to counter, they can counter this. Obviously better there than on something like a veto. Okay, so they have the absorb, that's fine. This is the blue-white control deck. Not the end of the world. So because they could potentially have a board wipe this turn, I'm going to go Acclaimed Contender. Chaining those together will be useful. Worthy Knight's also a useful card. I don't like this Temur Reclamation deck that much, to be honest. Without a consistent way of wiping the board, like if your creatures are more than 2 power or 2 toughness, it has a hard time, and then they don't have like the Nexus element of it. I mean, just kind of dirtling. Just play out the Worthy Knight here, pass the turn. If they don't board wipe here, yeah, so they have the Blacklance, comes down. This gives us a follow-up play. I'm going to do this now while we still have a Knight out in case they unsummon. Do like Worthy Knight here. I'd rather keep this alive. This with Time Wipe works out nice. So I'm gonna bluff the Embercleave. This replaces itself, so we'll do this. This has haste, which I like. So they need another time wipe here. Planar Cleansing's a thing. Like, I mean, if they have a third board wipe, we're probably not winning if they have 3. Okay, they have 3. Are you kidding me? Like, I'm not even mad at that point. Another Inspiring Veteran would be nice. Nah, they got Teferi. Thank you. It's getting annoying. I want my beard back. So we were doing well until we got triple board wiped. We got triple Teferi, triple board wiped this game. That also shuts off Embercleave. Like, we've chained together 3 Acclaimed Knights, 2 Worthy Knights. And now we're kind of just pooping. Overall, though, this deck's had a pretty high win rate. At this point, they just need to play Finale and we're dead. Yeah, we're not going to come back after this. We're a creature deck. When they triple smash us with counters, not much we can do in that front. We're not here to play the long game. We're here to try to win turn 3 or 4. Acclaimed Contender was actually very good that game. I hate this hand so much. So much better. I don't think the Fabled Passage belong in here. I am just going to put probably Plains. So this is the blue-white tempo list. Okay, if you're playing this deck, be aware that the auto tapper is incredibly stupid for it. This could be Jeskai Fires, at which point we just lose if they have Clarion here. I'm thinking this is blue-white control. Do we try to Embercleave? See if they try to bounce something. Cool. So next turn, we don't really need to commit more to the board. If they have Teferi, that's fine. I'm going to spread around the damage in case they have another blink. So that's fine. They have had triple Brazen Borer, which has been pretty nuts. Yeah, they're still pretty much dead, so it felt good. The triple bounce played around that nicely. Alright, we're about an hour and 10 minutes into this deck. We played quite a few matches, so I'm going to wrap this one up. Really enjoyed it. I am going to be playing this as my deck of choice to rank up. For those who want to see the deck, it's right here. Really just a Knights package, really aggressive with Rotting Regisaurs and Embercleaves. Highly recommend if you have the cards. Super fun, and it's not green, so you can use those planes. The one thing I do is shave down a Fabled Passage and go up the planes. I feel like you really just want the untapped lines. Yeah, so Pharmalike, I'll have it up tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Eastern. So typically, whenever I play a video on stream in the evening, it'll be up the next day. So there's an hour. We played probably about 10 to 12 matches. Only 2 games against Jeskai Fires. Everything else seemed like unique decks. So even if you just want to get a feel for the meta, that's part of the reason why we were playing Best of One, just to get a feel. And if you do have any recommendations for budget build series, if it's this deck, if it's a adventure deck, if it's a fires deck, what you would like to see, I'll start up those budget builds and we can take it from there. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. Hope you have a great evening. I'm going to go eat some dinner and play some Pokemon, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Have a great one.